Have you ever been broken up with?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, not like. I mean, I've dated people when they're broken up with me, but I've never actually been broken up with in a long term. I've never had a long term relationship. I don't know what that's like, But I've definitely been broken up with, and it's hurt. Yeah,
Mm.
really, really hurt.
Have you ever broken up with someone?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Have you
know
ever
what?
been?
It's a lot harder if you're broken up with if
Oh
you're the
yeah.
person.
No, it is. It is. Um, it is.
But
No, there's no but. I thought there was. No, it is harder. There's no.
no,
It is.
I'll tell
Yeah.
you why. The only thing when it is good when you've been broken up with, it's like you can't control it. You didn't make the decision, so you're kind of free to move on. Maybe the other person is like, oh, did I make the right decision? I think if you are broken up with, it does give you like a liberty and just to like move on with your life.
That's a very interesting way to look at it because that is quite true. If you do break up with someone, you do have to sit for the rest of your days thinking, did I make the right decision? Especially if that person goes
Mm-hmm.
on and they have a happy life and, you're still sat there 20 years later, just
Mm-hmm.
miserable. You got to look and think, did I make the
Mm-hmm.
right
Mm-hmm.
decision? So
Mm-hmm.
it's a big burden to break up with someone, to be fair. Um,
Yeah, it's hard, and a lot of thought goes into it. I think, yeah, it takes a while to get there, but you need to respect the decision
you
because
do need to
it
respect the
wasn't
decision.
just out of nowhere. It was many things that led up to it, but yeah, I think just being broken up with like triggers me. Like I think I just have some like rejection
Issues.
issues. Yeah, so it's kind of heightened. Like
Mm.
it triggers something. It gives a stronger reaction than it should. I think.
Yeah. No, it's a difficult thing. The final question
Okay.
is, I mean, I'm guessing the answer to this will be yes, based off of what you've just said. Have you ever been
Uh,
heartbroken?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but
Yeah.
but again, it probably wasn't, I don't know if it was a real heart. It might have been a kind of what do they call it? Like, I don't know if it was a real, because I build the person up so high, it's not
Mm.
actually them, the person who's broken my heart is not
Ah,
actually the real person. But I've
interesting.
definitely had a lot of hope where something's going to go. Hey!
Sorry, excuse me.
Um, Bless you. And yeah, it hasn't. I've definitely thought, oh, this person we could like be together, and then they haven't wanted that, and then it's like, oh, you know.
It's difficult. Well,
And then especially if they date one of your friends after, that's hard.
what?
Well,
Does this happen?
that
It's not normal, is it?
no.
What
When
is
I was a
that?
lot, yeah. This is like when I was a teenager. But
Whoa,
yeah,
what?
yeah,
What
yeah.
is going on there?
No, yeah. This is not recent times.
Whew.
Yeah.
Well, today's topic, in case you couldn't guess, is how to heal after heartbreak.
Oh wow, this is great. This is good.
Yes.
I like
How
this.
to
Come
heal
on.
after heartbreak. Because it is
Oh, come
something that
on.
I think a lot of us have experienced. Um, and it's hard, isn't it? It's hard to be heartbroken. It's not nice. It's not a nice feeling.
No, it's horrible because they're basically someone has literally like got close to you, looked under the hood of your life, evaluated it, and gone, nah, not for
All right.
me.
Well, that's a really harsh way of putting that.
You said that a few episodes ago.
Did I? Well,
Yeah.
well, I take it back because that was
You
quite
like
harsh.
they said
They
nah,
just said nah. They just said nah.
nah.
Not interested. Sorry. But so if we are to define what heartbreak is, first and foremost, we're
Oh, this
talking
is
about
good.
romantic heartbreak because there's many
Okay,
different types
yeah.
of heartbreak in life. There's heartbreak when people pass
Mm,
away. There's heartbreak
mm-hmm.
when things happen in the world and you just feel really brokenhearted.
Mm,
But because this is salt and this is, dating and that. We're talking about romantic heartbreak. And some things
Christian
might
heartbreak.
overlap. Christian
We're talking about
romantic heartbreak.
Christian
Holy heartbreak.
Christian heartbreak.
Holy heartbreak.
That's the episode name. I like that.
Holy heartbreak. But what is it? What is heartbreak? What does it feel like? What does it feel?
Heartbreak. There's many
hard.
emotions. There's many emotions that are mixed up with heartbreak. I think, yeah, obviously the sense of hope being deferred, like you had a vision of you with this person, and that's not going to happen. You kind of lose a very close friend as well, and like then you basically excommunicate them from your life, which so you could probably feel some grief too. And then sometimes you can feel a bit foolish as well. It's like, oh, how did I let myself get so? How was I so open? How did I get so attached to this person? And then because I think after heartbreak, like time can kind of reveal what the actual situation was when you're not like in the midst of like love hormones going on in your head, and like you're like, I think a bit of like self, just like, oh, why did I get so caught up in this, and why am I hurting? Almost a bit of regret, I suppose. So I think there's many emotions.
There's loads of different emotions. Now there is. I found loads of people describing what heartbreak feels like.
Wow, this is great. Come on, Cassandra.
Yeah, but some of them are really like, it's quite sad. So someone said an emptiness so profound it's physically painful.
Oh, yeah, like you feel it kind of like in your gut.
It's physically a painful thing. Someone said your world has completely stopped. Your purpose and plans completely freeze over. The doubt and questions about your relationship begin, and you are desperate to find a fix. But there is no fix, and the life you thought you had with someone that you once thought was your forever person has just exploded in your face.
Wow.
It's quite heartbreak. I mean, it inspires some really amazing songs, art.
Yeah.
It's one of these, it's a world altering thing. Someone said it's suffocating.
Oh, God.
The Oxford definition is an intense and unbearable or overwhelming feeling of sorrow or emotional distress. It can also refer to the experience of having a broken heart or instances of such intense sorrow. So that's heartbreak. In case you're listening in and you're thinking, well, am I heartbroken? If you feel any of that, yeah, you are. You are heartbroken. But lucky is that we're here to talk through.
Maybe I don't know if I felt like intense sorrow. Maybe I haven't been heartbroken.
Well, what do you when you feel like you have been heartbroken? What's your feeling?
Oh wow, I feel like the pain of just rejection, like the pain of being discarded. I think that the pain is stronger than like my desire to be with the person who heartbroke me. It's like more. It's not like I miss the person. It's like that. Yeah, just the pain of being discarded and like, no, you're not good enough. Let's move on to someone who can fulfill me and make me happy. Especially like when you try really hard in a relationship and you try so hard to like be the person that they're demanding, but it's you still fall short, and it's just like, oh gosh, I feel a bit discarded. And yeah, I suppose that's the main feeling I feel.
How long has that lasted for you?
Oh my gosh, honestly, I'm quite sensitive. I'm a sensitive guy, and yeah, so I think I react stronger I do in love. Like I think I just like jump head first. I get so carried away, get so excited, and don't even care about the repercussions. And then when it doesn't work out, I stay kind of like, I suppose, heartbroken, and I like to like delve into my heart. I suppose I'm just a bit over emotional for a guy, and so I'll happily stay there for years.
Years?
Well, no.
What?
Maybe not years. Maybe not years.
Please.
But,
because you can't be wasting years of your life.
Yeah, no, honestly, I don't like this about me. Like, I don't think it is a good thing. But there's a bit kind of when like you're licking your wounds, and there's a weird self gratuity to it. But again, I'm not the model so far. Like I've explained on many podcasts, this is not the model. But
okay,
I'll probably stay there longer than a lot of people.
Yeah,
I just love
to
love.
be fair,
I love love, Cassandra. Is that bad?
Love. No, it's not a bad thing. I was gonna search how long does heartbreak last.
Oh, that's really good. Okay.
I should have searched that up before. How long does heartbreak last? Apparently, it can take. Well, actually, to be fair, the rule of thumb is that it takes half as long as what you were with the person for.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. Because sometimes, like, just because I feel like that you can't. The time isn't a good way to measure a relationship, because if you see the person like once in 3 months, it's going to be different. Or not one. I'm exaggerating. It's going to be different to like if you spend every day with them.
Yes.
You know.
Well, apparently there's a study that said it takes around 3 months for people to feel positive about their breakup, and it can take up to 6 months for you to feel ready to move on. But again, that's dependent upon the person. That's just one study that says that. But years is a very long amount of time to be heartbroken over one person. So please, if you are out here heartbroken, don't spend years of your life.
Yeah. But also, like, don't let it like stop you from moving on.
Don't
like,
let
you
it
can
stop
still
you from moving
you can
on.
still get out there. You can still feel a bit kind of hurt, and still like you don't have to be fully healed to date.
That's an interesting point, because should you be moving on if you feel like you're heartbroken over somebody else? Because isn't that just bringing
you should, because it's reality. The other person doesn't want you, so like, I mean, you can't like date someone right after you've broken up, because you need some sort of healing. But I think it's foolish to like, oh no, I'm not ready to date. I need time. Like, I'm not fully healed. And then like it's like 5 years later and you're still not fully healed.
Yeah, I mean, you need to. I think, yeah, no, that's fair. I think you obviously have to at some point say, I'm not fully healed, but I'm gonna just try and wait. But I think it's also wise to not, if you know that you can damage that other person, if you know that you're not emotionally available, if your emotions are still caught up over there, I don't think it's a wise thing to then try and date. And like, you could end up hurting someone else because you're not over that last person.
Yeah, and dating another person isn't a fix to like solve your issues from the last. That's kind of cruel to.
Come on, somebody.
You just use a person as medicine and not actually, date them for them. And yeah, I think that's important.
It is important. That is very important. So getting over it then. Well, actually, let's talk about the 5 stages of heartbreak. What do you think they are?
Oh, there's 5 stages.
There's 5 stages of heartbreak.
That's a lot of stages. Wow. I think I'm still in stage 1. I need to get to stage 2.
Oh, man.
No, I'm joking.
Go on, what are they?
Oh, what are they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think I've seen this somewhere. Isn't it denial? Is that the first one?
Yes, denial is the first one.
Denial is the first one. Yeah, I read about this the other day.
Why were you reading about this the other day?
I think I probably just Googled like how to like stop being heartbroken. I think. Denial. Avoid or
no? It's an A word.
Obviously,
though.
Accept.
No, that's stage 5.
Oh, that is the 5th stage. Anger.
Anger. Yes.
Yeah, anger.
Number 3. Anger.
3. Oh, grief. Sadness.
No. That's number 4.
Number 3, anger. I don't know. What does it
Bargaining.
Begin with? Bargaining. Oh, what, you try and get them back?
To get them back, yeah.
Oh, wow.
You try and get them back. Number 4 is, like you said, sadness, depression, and then number 5 is acceptance. So they're apparently the 5 stages of heartbreak. So when you first, you know, you're heartbroken,
and then like,
you're gonna.
Do you keep going, and then you go back to one again?
Just go round and round in circles. You go round and round until one day
I feel like just keep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's get like a ride. Let's go again.
But sometimes heartbreak can be like that. You feel like you finally got to a really great place, and then something will just set you off, and you're like, "Oh man,
you get
I thought
triggered.
I was further along than this."
You get triggered. I mean, there was a situation recently where like I bumped into one of my exes, and like we haven't even been dating we broke up like over a year and a half ago, you know. But then there was just something that triggered. I mean, it wasn't her per se, but yeah, just that them intense feelings got triggered again. It's like, oh my god, I'm still dealing with this. But then I think it does just come in waves, you know.
It comes in waves, and I think we have to remember that we are just people, you know, and our brains don't know anything other than you know, science. And so when we see someone that has broken our hearts, of course we're gonna feel a certain connection or certain something, anything, because that was a massive, like you said earlier, you've known this person, you're now walking away from this person, you've become strangers. So of course, if you see them again after a few months or even a year, you might feel like, oh, that's them. And sometimes we can feel like we've gone backwards, but actually we haven't. That's what's meant to happen. You'd be crazy if you know, just felt nothing at all ever for anyone ever.
Yeah, and also this is a positive. Like if you are heartbroken, it's proof that you did love. Like it's proof.
Yes.
It's proof that there was investment, and there's proof that you opened your heart up. So heartbreak should be celebrated because you put yourself out there, and you actually put chips on the table, and you were willing to make yourself vulnerable, and that's something that is really to be proud of. Like it's hard. It's hard asking someone out. It's hard dating someone. You make yourself extremely vulnerable.
Yeah.
You're extremely open for judgment, and like, you know, you got to celebrate, even if it didn't work out in marriage. Like, you did a hard thing, and like, just because it didn't work out doesn't mean, you know, doesn't necessarily mean it's a reflection on you and your self-worth. Sometimes it's just a preference thing and a personality fit. But I think that's the thing. Sometimes it's just hard to not take personally when someone breaks up with you. But ultimately, often it is more about the other person than you, and it's just personality fit, it's preference. But often we take it as like, oh, I'm not worthy to be loved, and like that's just not true.
How do you get over heartbreak? How do you move past it? How do you get through denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then acceptance? What do you have to do? But first, there's some tips that are not. They're just people focused. They're not so much Christian focused. So that I found. Then we're going to move on to maybe the Christian focused ones. So letting yourself grieve apparently is a good one. Cutting contact, at least temporarily.
Definitely.
This is a very good one. Avoid idolizing the relationship.
Definitely. Yeah. Yes. That's so good. You know, it probably wasn't that great.
Lean on your support system. You probably weren't that great, You probably weren't all that
good.
Well,
yeah, it just probably wasn't as good as you thought it was. Like, when you're actually in the relationship, it's like stressful. You're dealing with all the, you know, everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, and you look back at these things with rose-tinted glasses and you're like, oh, but what about when we walked in the park that one time and the sun was shining? All right, but like, what about everything else? Like,
you could walk in the park with somebody else, you know, and the sun is still shining. That park's still there.
It's still there. It's all right. Focus on yourself. Rebuild yourself. Stay physically active. Exercise helps. Limit reminders. This says remove physical triggers. So, you know, deleting pictures, throwing away things that they bought for you, all these cute little things. Just get rid.
You know what I hate? I hate the iPhone app, like, you know what it does with photos and memories. I hate that. And it's like, oh, just so you know, 2 years ago, you was with this person and they're not in your life anymore. This is a beautiful mirror.
Hey.
It's like the iPhone knows, like, you've broken up with this person.
Oh, man. Facebook memories. Hey, 10 years ago, this is what you said.
Yeah.
All right, I don't need to know all this, actually.
Yeah, I hate that. We should get rid of that.
Gosh. Yeah, we should get... I don't know who invented that, but it's so annoying because I don't want to know any of this stuff.
No.
Let me get over life. Gosh.
Yeah.
Give yourself time. I think that's it. Yeah. You have to just give yourself time. And trust the process, it says here. Just trust that it's got to be all right.
Yeah. And like, there's, there's good ahead. The best is ahead. And like, love is still a possibility for you. Like, you haven't dropped the ball. You haven't missed it. The Lord is so good at rerouting. Even if you was, meant to be with that person, like, Lord is so good at rerouting and just, you haven't missed it. There's blessing ahead of you. And just because, you think you missed it with that person, you haven't. And, that's what I would say. Wouldn't like drink alcohol.
Yes.
That can, if you're like upset and drink alcohol, that can lead to some stupid stuff, I think.
Yes.
I wouldn't isolate. Like, get around the guys, get around your girls, get like in community, speak about it, try and keep yourself busy. I wouldn't just keep like looking at a profile on Instagram and
no, don't do that.
I would probably delete them off social media.
Absolutely. Don't show up to their place of work.
No, definitely not.
Don't go to their house.
No.
People do this. People do these things. People do these things. But no, I would definitely say I am a big advocate for just cutting someone off completely. It's selfish if I end it with someone and then I'm always messaging them. I just think that's really selfish to just always be putting myself in their life if I don't want to be with them. And I know it might sound really,
that's hard enough
or whatever, but I don't know when they're going to get over me. Like, I don't know, because I ended it. And if they didn't want to end it with me, I have to be fair and give them that space and that time to move on. And, not always put myself in their life and not be that person, that presence.
It's very tempting,
comparing people to. And it is tempting because,
for me, it's tempting.
If you, like you said earlier, you build up a friendship with someone and someone's been in your life for a while and you've known everything about them, and it's strange to just go back to strangers. But if you have broken up with someone, you have to accept and have already thought about the fact that if I end with this person, I may never get to speak to them again. I may never get to have them in my life ever again. Am I all right with that? And you have to say because life is life. It's a very real thing.
One of my favorite verses is, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted."
You know what? I have got that scripture right here. Psalm 34:18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit.
Oh,
that is a very powerful scripture.
That's a good one to think. If you're thinking about trying to text them or trying to like bargain with them, like, no, just leave it. You're brokenhearted, but just let the Lord heal you.
Let the Lord heal you.
He's close.
Definitely. And when you do cry out to him, he listens. He does listen. He absolutely does listen. Another one here says, similar to what you said, to be fair, surround yourself with a Christian community. So, don't isolate yourself. Make sure that you talk to people. This is an interesting one, but I think it really helps when you are heartbroken. And that is to practice forgiveness and to let go of bitterness and to not resent the person.
This is good. Come on.
Because you know what? When someone ends it with you, or has, especially in the way that they've ended it, if they've ended it in like a really horrible way, or they've cheated on you, or they've just randomly just said, I don't
stop
want to you anymore. You have things to forgive in that. You have things to forgive.
That's not. There's ways to end things.
There are ways to end things.
Yeah.
There are.
That could be a whole podcast. That could be a whole episode.
Be a whole thing.
Yeah, I think it's hard not to be bitter when just the person is like maybe like ghosted you, and when you have to like. I hate that when you have to find out what's happening.
Yeah.
Like that's not how it should be, and it's hard not to be bitter against that. And
100%.
But what I was gonna say, forgiveness is good, but also like just praying for that person and like just praying blessing and like really praying like actually, Lord, I hope I made an impact on her life, but really, Lord, just bring her the guy that she's meant to be with. Pray that she gets to be a mum.
Whew.
Lord, just bless her. Like she deserves it.
That's a tough prayer,
It's tough, but it heals.
That's a very hard prayer, but it really helps. It does actually help when you are in the midst of a heartbreak and you can sit there and say, God, I am praying for this person and I'm really praying that you bring them the right person. Listen.
That's a powerful prayer. Tough prayers are powerful prayers.
They are. That's a hard prayer. Because I know I've definitely had times when I've wanted to pray the complete opposite. Lord, just keep them single. Don't let nobody, because they don't deserve it.
Lord, castrate him.
Please. But no, that's not a good prayer. And actually, when you do pray for their success and you pray for their healing, and if they've cheated, you pray and you say, Lord, I pray that this person had, they can fix their brokenness. I do think that if you cheat, it comes out of a place of you being broken, you having so much going on in yourself that you're now putting it onto someone else and not making good decisions. So praying that prayer and saying, Lord, I just pray that they fix that and they can be a better partner to someone else. That's a really hard prayer to pray, but it does really help you in your journey of heartbreak.
It's so good. So good.
This is one that is also quite a good one. Fill your mind with positive and godly thoughts. Or just funny stuff. What I tended to do is I would just watch comedy shows and that. Like, just stuff that would make me laugh. Because when you're heartbroken, you just need a bit of a laugh. Don't forget that you can laugh.
And often, like, a few years down the line, you can laugh at like the person that you date, like just kind of like, oh my gosh, I dated that. How on earth that would have been a miserable marriage? Like,
yeah, no,
it's
honestly,
good when you get to that. I feel that's a sign of like healing when you can actually just laugh.
That is the ultimate sign.
Yeah.
When you can, I've done that before, especially now that I'm like engaged. But I can definitely look back and be like, I actually understand completely why none of those relationships worked out. And actually now that I'm here, I'm almost like thanking God. Every day I'll be like, God, thanks. Like, I know that they were really hard, that they didn't work out, but I actually understand now why. Because if that person hadn't ended it at that time, or if I hadn't ended it with that person, then I would never have met this really lovely man. We just wouldn't have met. He probably would have been off with someone else. I would have been married to someone else. And we wouldn't have known that we had existed. But I wouldn't have known what I could have had if one of those things had worked out. So you get to a place eventually where you actually can look back genuinely and say, Lord, thank you. Thank you for those things that did not work out.
And also, like, I thank you. Nothing's wasted, There's there's stuff from them failed relationships that you wouldn't have been able to attain without that person. And like, I think, relationships are like a training ground. Sometimes they reveal, what's in you and like what you need to grow in and your strengths, your weaknesses. So like, be thankful for the training ground and the opportunity to learn. And without that person, you wouldn't be the person you are today. So like, nothing's wasted, and there's gold somewhere in that failed relationship.
There's gold somewhere. No, that's a really good point. I love that. Nothing is wasted. Because you can kind of feel like that. If you've wasted like months, weeks, years invested in someone, you just think, man, what a waste of time that was. Why 100%. Did I even bother with that? But actually, you wouldn't be who you are today if you hadn't met that person.
Sometimes I wish just like the Lord would give me a heads up, just like, oh yeah, by the way, Rob, this is not going to end well.